racist. Right. I mean, I suppose we have to talk about Man City at some stage of this fucking podcast.
Can't not, right? It
Right.
is very literally the Yeti in the room. Like, it is a very large, quite remarkable,
looming beast in the
yeah,
room.
Yes.
large, and this may sound petty, but fuck it, the quite large and quite spectacularly ugly Yeti.
That is quite
In the room. Yes, we are going to be talking about Man City and their Norwegian goal robot.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the first thing we need to do is like much like actual monster hunters. I think we all need to come up with a plan to stop them. And I'm happy to be to take the put morals aside here and just do what we can, because I know what every Manchester City fan, and I mean all five of them, are going to come in and say, yeah, but you know, like Man United have said spent us, and you know, other teams have spent us. So he done it smartly. It's like, yes, that's the problem. You've been too good. But it's also the fact that you're a sponsored club and you're having limitless money for whatever you want. That's a separate issue. But when it comes to Haaland, I think we all need to come up with a plan. Do we catch him? Do we entrap him? What do we do? How do we stop it?
I don't really know. Like, he's like a numbers and stat machine. Like, he's a goal machine, like, obviously. Yeah. But like, he's scoring at a higher rate than most European tournaments. Like, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he's actually outscoring half the league. There are actually, you said he scored 14 goals in the league so far, right?
Yeah, he's 14 in the league. Yeah.
So he has outscored Wolves, West Ham, Forest, Villa, Bournemouth, Everton, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Leeds, Chelsea, Manchester United.
Yeah.
And
like, when you look at the Golden Boot, the next two people near him combined have less goals.
Yeah.
That's Harry Kane and
Mitrovic.
Yeah.
Mitrovic.
Yeah, they're 6 and 7, and he's 14. Yeah. He scored more than both of them. Like,
oh my god,
I don't understand this. Like, he's like, I'm not. It's any discussion of him just descends into a fucking numbers thing, like a goal every 8 passes, you know, or any of that type of shit. Like, it's just fucking. It's utterly crazy. Like, it's insane what he's doing. It really is. And I think the reason why the talk around him is so belligerent is because we are literally not used to this. This is
like, we're not used to like people who are doing really well in other leagues coming in, like, oh, like the commentators and the pundits don't have the old chestnut of, oh well, how will he do it at a cold winter night in Stoke? Like, you know, he has to adjust to the league. He has to. Yeah, he's done that, bro. Like, lads, like we're doomed. There's no adjustment period. It is just pain.
Yeah. I mean, he's just, and he stated himself, like, of just, he feels like the perfect game is him, like, you know, only touching the ball 4 times and scoring 4 goals or shit like that.
Fair,
you know? But like, he's almost done that. I mean, right, they played Copenhagen in as of we speak now, 2 days ago. A couple of days ago. And he only played for a half. And it was almost the perfect half. He had 11 touches. 4 of them were shots, all of them on target. 2 of them were goals. 3 were completed passes. 1 was a tackle. 1 was him being fouled. And the other was what we coin an unsafe touch. So 10 touches of the ball plus 1 ghost touch. And he scored 2 goals. What the fuck do you do? Like, I can't. Like, it's not as if, oh, every time he's on the ball, tackle him. It's like, he's almost never on the ball.
Yeah.
And you can't tackle him off the ball. This isn't Aussie rules football. You know? Like, and also, tackling him would be something else, given the fucking size of the prick. I find you try to body check him would be, you know, he's built larger than most of the centre backs in the league.
Yeah.
He can run quicker than most of the wingers. And he's a better striker, and he's a better marksman than most of the strikers. All he's short of doing is just putting on a pair of gloves and saving penalties and just going, yeah, I'm better than even the fucking goalkeepers. Fuck all of you.
Like I did have to laugh at, like, I think it was the Spanish media desperately trying to make a story.
Oh, the Madrid clause thing.
Madrid clause. Like, would you ever shite off, lads? Okay, look, I know Spanish journalism is biased as it is, and you always back your own, and you're
was that from El Chiringuito? I love those guys.
It probably was. In fairness, there was market already.
I haven't pinged onto them. One of the things I really, really miss having gone off Twitter the last 2 years was the account El Chiringuito in English, because they translate all of the El Chiringuito best bits into English and put it out there, and it's just demented. And I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are like, yes, he's got a clause to come to Madrid because they're still smarting from Mbappe turning down literally all of the money to come to stay at Paris Saint-Germain for yet more of basically the club. Paris Saint-Germain just gave him the fucking club. So yeah, no, I don't fully understand how you stop him. I really, really don't, because there's a kind of, oh well, just don't let the ball get to him, but that means absolutely depriving him. Like when you say, oh, just make sure the ball doesn't go to Kane, there's lots of areas where you can allow Kane to have the ball, and he's actually kind of okay. He's manageable, he's marshable, but there's no area of the pitch where you can allow Haaland near the ball where he's not dangerous, and he's always looking at that back post. So the problem, how Pep's organized it is like, all right, if you want to try and stop you can't stop the other 10 people, because one of the people he's got backing Haaland up is fucking Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
And you're just going, like, I think it was the second goal. And it was Haaland's second goal. It was City's third in the Manchester United derby where they absolutely crushed United.
Destroyed them,
yeah.
His second goal, City's third goal. Look at that De Bruyne assist. It defies logic. Like, it's like you're operating on a whole different level of geometry here. Like, if you think, and also, like, it goes to Haaland. Haaland's actually on the byline. He's fuck getting a shot off on target. He shouldn't be allowed to get to the ball. But he just telescopes out a fucking leg, slaps it, and gets it in. I was like, how did he do that? How did De Bruyne get that ball there? How did he get? How was any of this happening? I'm just sitting there going, like, I don't know. Normally, I don't know about this.
I was playing my match at the time, and it was a match where we were getting kind of hammered, and then I turned around and we came off at half time, and I was like, we're not the only ones getting fucking hammered, like. God. And then, like, they're like, oh, who scored? And I was like, oh, Haaland. And Foden.
Yeah.
No, but I was even the nature of the goals and scoring. Like, I know that a lot of them are tap-ins, but like there was one I remember. I can't remember which game it was. I think it could have been either Newcastle or West Ham game. Whichever way his foot hit the ball just automatically like magnetically pulled into the goals. Like, if any other player does that type of finish, it's up that way, it's down that way. If Darwin Núñez does it, he gets bantered out of it for completely different reasons.
You don't even need to go that far back. You only need to go back to his winning goal against Dortmund.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
That could be the match I'm thinking of, actually.
Had he gone for that with his head, he would have missed. He would have skied it. He'd have scooped it. He'd have spilled that. But he doesn't. He just hops up, gets his foot higher than everybody else's head, even the goalkeeper, and just hits it to the opposite side of the fucking. I was like, what is that? And obviously, he needed an absolute pinpoint perfect cross, which he gets. And I was going, because it's Cancelo, I think, that swung in it, absolutely inch perfect cross. But you're still thinking, like, what? I just don't know anymore. I normally don't know a whole lot about football. I'm accepting of the fact that I know fucking nothing about this game. Christ, is Haaland breaking down my definitions. I've never watched more Manchester City football in my life, and I think this is kind of it. Like, they wanted to sign Kane to kind of get the sort of English press cohort on side, and I really think but I don't think Kane would have worked out. I think he'd have worked out as a kind of PR exercise where everybody stops slagging off City about the fact that they're a state-backed fucking sports washing campaign. Yeah. But I think with Haaland, they've managed to do that and made it super entertaining, so that people are like, I just can't stop talking about this guy. Like, we're not talking about City anymore. We're not talking about the money. We're not even talking about Kevin De Bruyne or Pep. We're talking about Haaland. We're talking about this this fucking freak. Like, the superlative. This
Masigno cheat code.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this literal Nordic cheat code, and it's just fucking crazy. And I think You know, people are like, "Oh, Pep must be delighted." Here's my hot take on it. I don't think Pep's very happy about Haaland being there, even though he's scoring all of the goals and
he's jealous.
basically, no, not jealous. I think he's actually invalidated Pep's entire way of thinking. Here's the thing. We always know Pep's always on. What's Pep's ideal team? We've said
10 midfielders.
Yeah, 11 midfielders. He'd love one in goal as well. He'd love one with the gloves on. It's 10 midfielders. What is Haaland not? A fucking midfielder. All right.
Yeah.
That is absolutely not a midfielder.
But that's very true.
So he spent probably 7 years going down this false nine route. When an actual, and by the way, he's been working with some premier, like really good centre forwards. Like he has worked with Sergio Aguero. So nice. So nice. And no, like just rather than a false 9, what he needed was an absolute unit 9.
Yeah. He needed the best you can get, like, but like, and that's the thing.
We needed a big centre forward. Like Sergio Aguero is a great centre forward, an absolutely unbelievable centre forward. He's not a big guy. The pass him is big. But Haaland, absolutely yes. And that's the thing. He's been wasting. Like I was talking about the De Bruyne assist. He's just been wasting De Bruyne slinging balls to these diminutive fucking midfielder / converted centre forwards in a 4-6-0 formation. On actual fact, he's got like, no, I could just get this giant Norwegian fucking goal machine here, and you can just ping balls to him. And
actually, I remember reading a report one time. There was somebody that City were scouting from non-league. I think from somewhere like Ep.18 United or somewhere in that kind of level of football. I was thinking, like, why are they scouting this one guy? He's like, as in like attacking kind of backup. He's like 21 years old. And that's why he's 6'9". That's why they were scouting him, because the idea, like the principle was still the same way. It's like if you have all these beautiful crosses of the ball, get the tallest person you can find to just basically be in the way of the goal.
But also the thing is that Pep wants everybody to contribute, and like everybody has to get on the ball. And yet here he has a player who's quite literally saying the exact opposite of that. For years, almost close to a decade of saying, what was it, like 100,000, a death by 100,000 passes. How the fuck do you do that? How the fuck do you do that when your centre forward wants to only touch goes 45
bang it in the net?
Yeah, when your centre forward touches the ball 11 times, one of them doesn't really even count. Like you're not getting 100,000 passes there. But hey, that centre forward scored 2 goals with those 10 touches. So like that won you the game. And it's just like, what the fuck? He's banged in 3 fucking hat tricks in a row. And guess what? City's next game is Southampton.
Yeah. The 9-0 team.
The 9-0 2 seasons in a row team. It's going to be 9-0 to Haaland. Let's face it.
Yeah. No, I've accepted it. Before after the Southampton game, I've accepted it.
Yeah, Burke, but before you came on there, I'd actually looked up the odds. The odds of Haaland scoring his 4th hat trick in a row are 9-2.
Like that's so upsetting.
The next nearest person is Aubameyang for Chelsea, and he's 50-1. 9-2 to score a hat trick. A hat trick. That's 3 goals. I was about to write into the bookie. So you do realize a hat trick means 3 goals, yeah? You do know that. Like, like fucking done a mistake here. Like, it's crazy. Apparently, like, there's fucking stories bound people showing up their screen grabs from their Paddy Power apps saying, "Oh yeah, I bet on Haaland to score like 5 hat tricks in a season," and like I put like a $5 on it. They gave me 60-1. They've already paid me. Then I was like, please don't take any more of our fucking money. And it's crazy. Like the man is a fucking nutcase. He's got a higher goal per minute ratio than most European tournaments. I think he's got a higher goals per minute ratio than the entire Euro 2016. That's what he's operating at, and we're 8 weeks in. I'm not taking that's not that small a sample size.
No,
you know, we're also counting in the European games that he's being fielded in, and he's just the score. And
and I like how during the week they brought him on, and like literally every comment was why do this, like why they're already dead.
This counts as some form of abuse. I definitely think it's an abuse for. You know, but he is like the crushinator from Futurama, you know, whose very use in combat is been deemed a war crime.
Yeah.
So it's just insane. Like it's just great. How do you stop him? I honestly don't know. I really,
like
really don't.
I think
You
he's
can try and
genuinely.
choke. You can try and choke off the ball to him, but that means choking off all ball. Like he
Yeah.
cannot get anywhere near 90 whole minutes. He must have 0 touches.
Yeah.
And can you do that? I mean,
Probably not. No.
You can't shoulder him off the ball. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, he wants on the ball, he'll get it. Like, what? There's probably a handful of centre backs. Like, all right, then fine. Because a couple of my friends were talking to me about when we're going to play them. I was like, maybe McAllis might be able to handle him. Yeah, McAllis might be able to handle him. Like, it's the same build, same. I think he's about an inch shorter only. Weight wise, yeah, he's good. I reckon, you know, that'll be a good one. It'd be a fucking deadly clash of the Titans. Fucking thing watching those two run into each other. You know, everybody in the crowd's glasses just smash, just crack. You know, but fuck, like I don't know, like it's unfair.
Yeah,
it's unfair.
I think it is. I think it is unfair. Like
it's unfair, but I'm liking watching it. And the thing is that like
I can't watch it. I just genuinely can't. I never hated the club more.
I didn't want to put the boot into you, but I think one of the main reasons why lots of Liverpool fans can't watch it is that your own attempt at this massive wholesale, like get the big bully centre forward hasn't worked out as well.
No, it hasn't, and in the sense like they're also two very different players as well. Like I think a lot of people are looking at the fact that like they in that moment of time when we were scouting Salzburg and we essentially opted for Minamino over Haaland. Like there was I don't think it was ever a possibility we're ever going to get Haaland off Salzburg, and it certainly wasn't going to be at the money we were going to get Minamino. But it's also at that point in time, like we were already had way too many forwards. We were getting Minamino in as cover for injury prone players. You know, like you couldn't look at the front three that we had at the time and say, oh yeah, we'll just add in this massive freak of nature on top of it. Like he wouldn't have fit at the time. So it's a bit of hindsight's 2020 kind of thing.
Oh no, again, like, at the Salzburg point,
yes,
kind of maybe, you know, I'm like,
we should have. No, I'm not saying that we should have in hindsight.
You wouldn't look at Haaland, like Salzburg level Haaland. He was a very good player for them, but you wouldn't look at him and go, "Oh, this is the guy that after 9 game weeks in the Premier League would have an online petition to have him banned." With 1.8 million signatures. That's
exactly. That's
got the thing. It has 1.8 million signatures. I've got it up on the screen. I've signed it.
But that's the thing. But you're right in what you're saying in a way because I don't. I would say that Liverpool fans had a disillusionary idea of what Núñez was going to be. And like I said, he hasn't kicked on and he's at the kind of stage where I think someone described him, he's in his Timo Werner phase where he's just like, well, his movement is good. It's like, that's great. We didn't ask him for his movement.
That's not a good phase. That's not a good analogy.
No, it's not. But at least the comfort is that we're not relying on him. We do have other players we can go to for goals. The issue is more so about everything else in the team, really. It's about the midfield, it's about the chance creation, all that sort of jazz. Darwin is the least of our concerns in that sense. But at least and it's always a grass is greener kind of thing with Man City, in a sense that we always look at our owners who are very conservative and balanced books and all that sort of jazz. And again, when you have a team like Man City who essentially have a limitless checkbook, and if they want to sign the world's best players, they can do that. They have done that with Haaland. They've done that.
Stockpile them.
Yeah, and stockpile them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think with Haaland, like they can kind of justify to themselves that they've got the familial connection there.
That one's fair.
And his dad played for the team, and that he does actually have photos of him as a child wearing the City jersey.
Yeah, and that's fine. I actually have no problem with that.
But when you say stockpiling players, it's like, who did they get as his backup? Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
Fucking South American.
The same scoring rate as him.
Yeah, the South American player of the year. the
next Sergio Aguero. Exactly. Like, he's the backup.
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking, that's great. And by the way, he is some fucking great player. He is brilliant.
Yeah,
he is absolutely wasted there.
He's the player we should have got. He's the player we should have gotten instead of Núñez.
Yeah.
Because I even said at the time, like last year, I was saying, like, look at this player from River Plate. He's scoring 2 goals per game. He's the one we should have scouted instead of Núñez. He's the one we should have gotten instead of Manny. Because it's a natural left forward.
2 goals a game for a considerable length of period.
Yes.
Not just 2 goals a game.
One of the most competitive leagues in the world. The Argentine league is always a nail biter every fucking season. So the fact that he's scoring 2 goals every game is proof that it's not just down to the league and down to one player being better.
Did he win the Copa Libertadores with River Plate?
He did, yeah. Oh, but that's the thing, like because he stuck around for the end of that season, and City were happy to.
Yeah, there was the issue of him having.
He bought him in January.
He wanted to hang on, because the South American season is a yearly season. It actually ends in November.
It ends in November, exactly, yeah. And then the Copa Libertadores takes off from there. Yeah. So that's the thing. So like in hindsight, if we're a Liverpool fan looking at the kind of the greener grass and going like, oh, I wish we were them. It's like the one you shouldn't be coveting Haaland. The one you should be coveting is Alvarez. I think he was actually like more realistic because again we had a South American variety. We went for Luis Diaz instead. Again, I'm not complaining about that. Diaz is a superb player, and at least because we saw him in real action against Porto, we knew how good he could be. But of course, Diaz I think was always presumed to be an auxiliary to Mane, and then you realize, oh god, this guy is actually so much better. What the fuck is happening here? So players will always prove you wrong when you put them in those roles. And I think with the Man City thing is because you're just adding so much more quality on top of quality that there's it's very hard to compete against that. And again, I don't want to complain about the limitless the checkbook. That's just a means to an end. If you have genuinely capable people in the right roles, you can make a Harlem Globetrotters team. That is absolutely reasonable. Manchester United should be able to do that. Chelsea.
Don't tell Todd Bowley this, Jonathan.
Well, Chelsea should be able to do that. If they have the money, they should be able to do this. Same with
he should be able to field 11 outfield players if he fucking wants to. Let him do his 4-4-3.
Your negativity on this podcast. Your negativity.
Absolute. No negativity. We are at no negativity place. Todd Bowley, you go for your 4-4-3. Magnificent.
But much to the point. But at the same time, then it becomes more of a moral question. Like, well, maybe they should be that level of financial dumping.
You mentioned Chelsea because they have already signed the next massive summer start.
Christoph Nkunku, yeah.
They've already gone for Nkunku. They've decided we're going to pay way above the odds of his release clause, which was 60 million euros.
60 million euro, yeah.
Yeah, they ain't paying that.
But that's the strategy now because they knew already that Man City he's
already done his fucking medical for them. He's just good to go. They're like, right, come next summer, you're straight over. Straight up, no kissing. We don't want any fucking bidding wars because they know Leipzig knew they were going to get way more than 60 million quid for him in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
They knew he was going to leave. They knew he was going to go. And they're like, oh, hang on. Chelsea obviously were sniffing around. And we're like, right, well, here, give us, I guarantee it's probably closer to 90 million euros. That's what Chelsea are paying for. Because if I was Leipzig, it was like, right, you're definitely going to give us 90 million. We could definitely plan for that. We don't have to go through the bidding war bullshit. Probably might be, they wouldn't get 90 million for him out in the open market. But we'll get it off these desperate motherfuckers because every centre forward they've signed for the last 3 seasons has spectacularly misfired.
Yes.
They're still paying off the 100 million quid for the last misfiring sack of shit, who they then loaned back to the team and is again misfiring. So that's just it. Chelsea had a distressed buyer, to use an economic term. They're a distressed buyer, and you can extract them out, and that's what Leipzig, they squeeze that orange for all it's fucking worth.
Yeah, exactly, and like I said, that was we were the same with release clause for Núñez. Like Benfica knew we had money to spend because we sold Mane and we sold 2 other of our squad players, so the money was there. But it's that kind of thing. Like you have to now, if you're going to compete with Manchester City, you have to induct that level of squad planning in a sense where they had Alvarez signed up for 6 months before they even kicked the ball. Haaland was no doubt courted for an entire year before any offer was planted. And of course, if he was going to join any team in England, it was that or Leeds, and Leeds were not going to spend 800 million on the fucker. Man City had the means to do it, So I don't think no one would ever entice him to go anywhere else. Like I said, he does have a familial connection, and that's actually quite respect that from him personally.
Well, the familial connection got, if you believe reports, which I do, that familial connection got about 10 million,
14 million out of it,
in the deal as well.
A fair deal.
Yes.
Well, like I said, in order to stop,
give me 10 million quid.
Yeah. Well, in order to stop, but that's the kind of the essential question. How do you stop the likes of a Haaland and Manchester City? You have to play them at their own game. You have to do that level of squad planning. But the problem is, you need a limitless bank balance. You need to have access. You have the prestige to have access to the world's best players. And then you not only do you have to have the world's best players, but you have to shine them up even further to make them unstoppable. So, how do you do that? There's only so much you can do. You can beat them on the day, yes, but not through a season. It's impossible.
Well, through a season, when you say you can beat them on the day, not through a season, through a season, you only played them twice.
But that's not enough. You're expecting 19 other teams to pitch in as well.
But how do you beat them on the pitch? You beat them with a high press. You beat them with pressure, constant pressure, which it is relentless. You have to keep it up.
Yeah.
Right, I am grasping at more straws than I'm masturbating. Scarecrow.
Bear in mind, this will come out around the time as the Arsenal Man City game. So
exactly. I look back to our previous game against Man City when we played them off the park and still lost 2-1. But when you go back and look at that match, the amount of pressure we absolutely pour on them, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. And it's only from some fucking hilarious officiating.
That was the red card one, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, as long as Grand Jack can stay on the fucking pitch.
Yeah.
Which he can now because he's not part of a double pivot now. He's now part of a single pivot. He's further forward. It's a single pivot with just Thomas Partey there, and that's great. Yeah. That's great. We release him into the wild of the opposition's third, and he's great. He's really
actually, I was wrong. Actually, this will come out on the same weekend as Liverpool Man City.
So you need constant sustained pressure across all the things. You need to make sure that any ball that goes towards Haaland isn't perfectly weighted.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the De Bruyne pass for his second goal, City's third in the Manchester derby. But what I didn't really mention was that De Bruyne probably had about 4 or 5 seconds to pick out that pass. And if you're playing against City and De Bruyne has the ball, 5 seconds is 4.5, then it's 4.5 more than you ever give that motherfucker. All right. He doesn't need 5 seconds to pick out the perfect pass. All right. He needs about 1. And that's what I mean. You can't give their ball feeders any time. You press that midfield because he's not going to track back. We know he's been ordered not to track back. Pep has told him not to track back because he is to be that guy always at the back post. That's because that's how they've redefined that's how Pep has altered his 11 midfielders thing, is that I've got 10 midfielders and I'll always have this motherfucker at the back post. So if I can't play through you, if you're pressing City really well, if you can't get through, if you've managed to somehow combat Silva, De Bruyne, Rodri, all the other fucking mercurial players that they've got, if you can nullify all them, well, all they'll do is just sling it to the back post, and you've got this fucking thing here that's just gonna whack it in. It's gonna telescope out some kind of limb and get the ball in. And that's my point. You can't give them any time the ball. You need to harry them. And the point is, not a lot of teams have the energy to fucking do that.
Not this year. Not this year.
But I kind of think Arsenal do. I think
that playing them before the World Cup is key.
Yes.
Because and I think that's going to be a case with a lot of the big teams that playing them before the World Cup, while we have the energy, while we have the that harrying energy there, not just the energy to pass the ball and make right decisions, but also to win that ball back quickly. Yeah, there you go. That's going to be key for pretty much everything. This season is going to be so hard to judge because of this World Cup. And you could be relying on your big Gabby to defend against Haaland, but in the return game after the World Cup, then he might not make it back, or he might not be fit, or he might, it is just, I don't know how we'd stop him. And if this is coming out around the time of the Liverpool Man City game, and I'm just glad if we can all watch Van Dijk and just carbon copy what he's done against Haaland, or cut this if this makes more sense.
Yeah.
We just need to do the exact opposite of what Van Dijk just did there.
Yeah.
Drop in that edit point right there.
Exactly, yeah. Like I mean, like I hold absolutely nothing in presumption of that game. Like it's one of those ones where it could just literally be like a random scoreline. Like it could be 5-0 City, fucking 4-1 Liverpool. It could be literally fucking anything at that rate because those games are just objectively they don't work, they don't happen on our plane of existence. They happen in 4D.
I think if we're going for otherworldly fucking results, like this weekend with City playing Southampton, like
yeah. Actually, it will just be like a Greek symbol as the scoreline.
How many, like seriously, how many people are going to be watching that just as a kind of like a slaughter? You know, like
they will watch it like
the people crowding around the crusty
voyeuristic kind of pleasure.
Exactly,
from
it is going to be pure voyeurism. It's like car crash. This is going to be car crash football.
Yeah,
you know, this might finish off Hasselhoff. You know, this might be the thing that gets him out, being booted out the door by fucking this giant Norwegian motherfucker. You know, getting absolutely hoofed out the fucking St. Mary's. Like it's just, where's it St. Mary's?
Yeah, St. Mary's. You're right. Yeah,
and it's crazy. Like but yeah, like it's a funny thing. Like I mentioned that as a kind of derogatory point. I'm going to be watching the City the game. You know, I've captained Haaland in my fucking FF team. And like everybody else has. You know,
I haven't. I've morally I can't accept this. I just
know. Oh my god, that's it.
No.
It's hilarious. The FF, every fucking FF forum, every single one of them, right? Because he's owned by 83.1% of teams, right? 83.1%, and every FF forum is literally just, what are the other guys doing? Like, he scored 3 hat-tricks in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, and he's coming up against Southampton, a team that have lost 9-0 in 2 straight seasons at one point. And let's face it, this is probably going to be a bloodbath. And like, what are the other guys doing? Like,
it's just unfair. It's just like it doesn't feel right. It's just that's easy.
What what medication are they on? Give me some of that stuff. They're on the good shit, like, you know. It's just crazy. But yeah, I am it's weird. I'm simultaneously hating and loving this. And also, like, again, as Burkbot alluded to, with the World Cup's bang in the middle, this is literally a season of 2 halves. You know, like the season after the World Cup is not going to resemble anything of what we're going through right now. Like it's like it's fucking going to be crazy. The second half of the season is going to be fucking crazy. Like I'm going to be keeping a diary, like a daily log. I was like, one player exploded. Spontaneously combusted in the middle of the pitch after playing 9,000 consecutive minutes, and I was like, okay, then.
In very hot weather.
In very hot weather, yes,
10 a.m. kickoffs. Really sounded like a good idea at the time, lads, didn't they? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, he's gonna come back from the fucking World Cup. He's gonna be like the alien out of the first Alien movie, where they dump the boiling hot lead onto him, and nothing really happens until they spray him with like cold water, and then he explodes. You know, it's like, that's it. He's going to be fine in Qatar. He's going to play his fucking guts out, and then he's going to come back, and then the instant rain hits him, he's going to going to explode like an overfrozen fucking beer bottle or something like that. But
it can't be a beer bottle. The drink is not allowed in Qatar.
No, can't be having that.
And then that will be his bare chest. That'll be both immodesty and homosexual. So
absolutely, yes. Even though he will be nowhere near either parts of his chest. But that is a discussion for a whole other podcast.
Oh, it really fucking is. More on that story as we get closer to it.
In any case, just give City the league title. Don't give them the Champions League title, because that will validate Pep. Actually, probably maybe do. Like, here's the thing.
Then he'd go. Then he'd leave.
That's my point. If Pep wins the Champions League by playing a player that he is always resented and never wanted, will he, like, how will he react to that? You know?
Yeah, worth the shot.
It's like, he's always wanted he's always wanted the Champions League, but no, he doesn't. He wants to do it his way. But it's like, no, you're gonna get the Champions League, but not your way.
Have to do it Haaland's way.
You have to do it Haaland's way. You have to pay.
That'd be something. That's the kind of meme. It's like, you receive this, but you also receive this.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
It's like you receive the Champions League with Manchester City, but you don't get the credit for it.
Yeah, exactly. The only person anyone will ever be talking about will be, this motherfucker. In fact, he's the only one they can see, and oftentimes literally.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe a year of domination won't be so bad because then maybe they'll just all fuck off.
Or maybe now in the next couple of weeks he'll wreck a knee ligament and all this conversation will be completely moot. But then again, as we said, we'll just watch Julian Alvarez as absolutely pissed.
Exactly. That's the sad part. Like Alvarez will do the exact same fucking thing. So what's the point? Football's done. Like, can we just fucking end football? Just forget about it. Let's just all watch something else. Like, there's no point now.
Just cancel it. Yeah, I've gotten really hardcore into the NFL the last couple of years. I'm like, I'm just doing this.
I don't know. Is there anything good happening in tennis lately? Like, fucking the F1 season's wrapping up pretty soon. Like, I need something else to fucking watch. It isn't just Erling Haaland winning everything by himself, the fucking untitled bastard.
Will be nice. It is going to be like 7 or 8-0 Haaland on the weekend, isn't it?
It's just going to be.
Have we all accepted that?
Yeah, like I have. I've accepted that like football doesn't matter now because Haaland and Man City are there forever and they're never going to fucking leave. Like a fucking fart in the elevator, and like the football overall will mean fucking nothing. All of us is just playing for second because Pep Guardiola has a fucking daddy issue and Erling Haaland has a fucking son issue. So like it doesn't matter what fucking happens anymore. Like it's
I'm loving the bitterness. This is great.
Oh, it's total bitterness. It's total fucking bitterness.
Pure total Liverpool bitterness.
It's not a football fan business. It's no competition anymore. We're let
the hate flow through.
Cool. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If they bottle the season, I'll absolutely completely stick the boot in, going ha 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 ha. But I'm not saying
they very much just because, like, again, season of 2 halves. Fuck knows what's going to happen after this World Cup decimates every team.
That's legit why I think they're trying to win it in the first half. Just win all the games and that's it. Hope for the best.
Well, there's one team ahead of them in that fight.
There is. We'll see how long I'm actually kind of hoping like, okay, maybe you need to play the 4D chess here and let Arsenal win so they can keep the advantage to Man City, and then
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I think that it might actually take some genuine like fucking like backhand deals. Go right. If we lose to you and you beat us and we beat them and we beat you, just maths alone will ensure they don't win the league. The rest of the 19 teams will arbitrarily decide, right, lads, we've decided that Brighton's going to win the Premier League this season. So I want you all to try and make Brighton win and just spite Manchester City to death. That is the plan. That's the plan going forward. All in favour, say aye. All opposed, nay. Fantastic. Right, let's get the fuck out of here.